today we're going to be working on our paper horizontal, and we're going to do some interesting little flowers. Now you can start with a Sharpie or a pencil, whatever you'd like to be drawing with. And we're just going to do some really simple stuff. So you're going to start with like just a small circle. And then from this circle, we're going to draw a lot of lines coming out. And think of like kind of like a dandelion. Like all of these pieces are going to be very similar in length. They don't have to be perfectly straight. It's fine if they're not. Sorry about the shadows on my paper. My light broke, so this is what we're getting today. Good old sunlight. So we just want a lot of little pieces coming out. And you can turn your paper if that works better for you. I have mine taped so that it'll stay in the video, but it might be easier for you to turn your paper. That's perfectly fine. So just until you feel like you have enough little lines in here, you can just keep adding them. This kind of feels, it's really fun to kind of see where you can fit another one in. And if you're finding joy in that, just keep doing it. Then at the end of each of these, you're going to kind of draw just a little, like a little teardrop shape. If you feel like yours doesn't look very good right now, I think that once we make a few others and you get the hang of it and you see how they all look different but the same, you'll probably like it a little bit more. And if you don't, that's all right. There's always the garbage can if you just can't come around to it and love it. I think I want to add another one here just for fun. I'm just finding a lot of relaxation in drawing these little repetitive shapes. So it's sort of starting to look like a flower now. You can really see that mine are not perfect in any way. They are all a little bit different. Some are pointier, some are rounder, some are longer. Some need another friend, so I'm going to add this here. And then that's really about it. If you want, and I think I'm going to put some little black dots in the center. So there is one. So now let's just start another one over here. So I'm going to make my center, and then I'm just going to start doing those lines coming out from it. And this one's going to be about, looks like about this big. And so what I like to do is just like keep splitting each of these in half. How I'm adding more lines. Just wherever you can fit another line, stick another line in there. And if you feel like your hands are shaky, totally fine. It's not going to make a big difference in the outcome of this piece. Because these flowers kind of have a lot of personality, and you can see, I mean, I'm not doing a great job of keeping it together there at the edges. That's totally fine. I'm gonna go ahead and put my dots in the middle because why not? And then I'm going to start doing my little teardrop shapes on the edge here. So I'm just kind of making them and I'm filling them in. And you can see that they're all different, but they're all sort of the same. I think maybe I want another one here. No particular reason other than I felt like those two friends were just too far apart. And the finer tip marker you're working with, the more of these little things you can get in here. So I'm just using a Sharpie, it's called Ultra Fine Point, but I have used much finer point tipped black markers than this. I guess this is just as fine tipped as Sharpie gets for us. These ones are super close together, but that's okay. It's nature, right? I feel like this would work out better for me if I could twirl my paper around, so they're turning out a little bit wonky, but I think it's still going to be fine at the end because we have a lot of steps yet to go. So I hope that you're finding as you go that your hand is getting just a little more comfortable making this shape each time. So there's my bigger one. And then I can kind of make one down here, like maybe the center is here. And we're not gonna see this whole flower. We're just gonna see, like it's gonna go out this far. It's just gonna fall off there because we don't see what's below that surface, but the rest of them can be a good length. We're just going to pretend like the whole flower's there, but this is the window we're looking through, so we don't see all of those flowers. All of those little pieces. Put my little dots in the middle. You can do that at any time. You can do it at the end or at the beginning. It does not matter. Sorry, I know it's tough for you to see when I turn my arm like that, but that's the only way I can get those things drawn from that angle. And then I'm going to add my little tips to this flower. And I gotta tell you, my hands are sort of shaky today. Sometimes as artists we feel very fluid and very smooth, but sometimes we don't, and it's just being human, right? I find that sometimes if I am anxious or excited or tired, or if I did something, like if I worked out, I might be a little bit more shaky than usual when I go to do my art. But that's all right, because what I'm really here to do is kind of keep my mind calm and just let my mind escape into drawing all of these little shapes, coloring them in and enjoying that. That is what I'm for right now, is just thinking about making all of these little shapes and just being really happy with them. So now we've kind of used up a lot of our big space. So I'm gonna go over here and we're gonna make a littler flower. So we can kind of start with the same size center, but obviously my petals aren't going to be able to go out as far because I don't want to run into this flower. So these ones are only going to be about this long. Alright, so then same thing, we're just going to put the little edges on here. And if you wanted to, you could even do a version of this where all of the little edges were hearts. That would be kind of cute. You could make them all squares. You could go in a lot of different directions here. Any little shape you want. Alright, so that's all we're going to see of that flower. So then maybe we have another one right here that's just this. Oops, I forgot the dots in the center of that one. There we go. Okay, so this is going to have like pretty short petals, because there are a lot of flowers around it already that are kind of big. And it just doesn't have a lot of room to stretch out, so its petals are going to be kind of short. But that's all right. It can hang. And you could scale these if you want. If you wanted these to be smaller on your littler flowers, you could do that. Or you can kind of just make them a similar size. I'm gonna make them a similar size because I feel like this is my comfort level today. My hands don't want to work any smaller than this today. And that is absolutely fine with me. Like I said, I'm here, in case you haven't noticed by my music, I'm here to relax today and just do something kind of soothing for my mind. Alright, so now I'm going to make another little one down here, and we're only going to see half of this one. So this is up to you. Like, you just fit these little flowers in wherever they fit in your piece. If you're getting tired, you can always stop and finish later. Or if this is just not working for your brain, you can always stop and do a different art project. Now, sometimes people say, don't quit, see it through to the end. And that's another way to go. But often I find if a piece of art just isn't bringing me joy and I don't want to keep doing it, I'm in control of my art, so I can just stop. And that is totally fine, because art should bring you joy. A little one over here. Little dots. This one was like really exact. A tiny one right here. It's such a baby. but it fits. Kind of looks like a spider, huh? That's all right. Maybe it's a Spidey flower. I am fine with the Spidey flower. And then I'm going to put little dots in the middle because it's the same thing. And then we can have one over here, I think, that goes, let's see. We'll make this the center, and then its little arms can go out like that. Perfect. So you just kind of keep adding these wherever you want. It's not very teardrop shaped. All right. I need to get back into my groove. I got a little messy there. All right. And then we can keep going. Like we can put one over here. And it can go out like this tall. We're just gonna fill in all of our space with these little flowers, as many as you want. And then when you're done, you can color them in, and I'll show you how. I'm going to use watercolor. You can use whatever you'd like, but I am definitely going with watercolor for these because I'm going to make them have kind of a melty center, and they're going to be really, really cool looking when they dry. Pretend that we have one over here that we can't see, and we'll just put its little end pieces on because we can't see the middle of this one, but it's still there just outside of our frame. Where else can we have one? Have one coming out right here. You can get sort of creative on the edges if you want to. It doesn't have to follow the exact same pattern as the ones in the middle. There are more important ones. These just need to form the border for us. And we're just gonna hope nobody else looks too closely at them. But, you know, if they do, it's okay. This is the tiny babiest little flower right here. Look at it. Hello, tiny baby flower. You're adorable. So then if you have some spaces, let's see, I think we still forgot to put dots in that one. I think we still could fit one over here. All right, and then I'm just gonna draw these little guys on here. And then if you have any leftover spaces that you want to do something else, you can. I'm just going to leave mine, I think. I don't know. What can we do? I guess we could just add more. Nah, I'm going to leave them. I'm going to go ahead and sign my name here. Whoops, I forgot the dots. And then I'm going to speed up the video and I'm going to show you how I paint it.